and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Faith, and today we're going to be seeing a Candace Owens podcast titled Ben Shapiro versus Tucker Carlson, Who is Right? And if you're new to my YouTube channel, you're highly welcome. Please do stay tuned. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and everything good. And with all that ado, let's just dive right into this video.
Let's get to Tucker versus Ben Shapiro. Oh my gosh, the conservative world is melting down. You've got to take a side. What do you guys think? So very quickly to recap what has happened. Obviously, Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro have different political philosophies. Tucker Carlson, I think, very much agrees with me. And I would say, as we talked about earlier in monologue, now Matt Walsh, that we just shouldn't be sending any foreign aid. And one of the things that has been particularly upsetting are people that just seem to be playing fast and loose with their words. Most notably, by the way, when we talk about these people, we're talking about people like Lindsey Graham, who is, I think, a lunatic, which is exactly how Tucker Carlson described him when he wrote this on Twitter: "Hit Iran now, hit them hard," followed by Senator John Cornyn of Texas, "Target Tehran," like just tweeting people that are in our government, bomb a country. Like, obviously, that's going to put Americans in war. And Tucker Carlson was explaining in a recent interview to Russell Brand why that sort of language upsets him. Because, like I said, he replied to that tweet and said, "Effing lunatics," right? Here is what Tucker Carlson had to say.
I've got 4 draft-age children. So if you're playing recklessly, fast and loose with their lives, then I have a right to despise you, and I do. So if you're Nikki Haley, who's running for president, or Ben Shapiro, or half the people I see on television casually mentioning the possibility of nuclear war or sending Americans to fight in the Middle East, or in any way involving us in a war that has nothing to do with prosperity and peace at home, nothing, in other words, to do with us, Americans, then I have a right to call you out and be really offended because it's my family. They live here. It's not a joke to me. There's nothing abstract about it.
And in reply, Ben wrote this on X. He wrote, "Tucker is simply lying about my positions. I've been calling for a negotiated end to the Ukraine war, freezing the lines of conflict since early on in the war. I have never called for American boots on the ground in Ukraine, ever. I have never called for American boots to defend Israel, ever. I've invited Tucker to sit down multiple times over the past few weeks to clear the air and discuss our differences. He's said he's willing, but his team has told us that he's busy for months because of all of his foreign travel. That offer remains open." So here's what I would say. I think that in that clip, he wasn't just calling out Ben. And so I think that we're kind of conflating because Ben has a different position, obviously, than people like Nikki Haley or people like Lindsey Graham, who, as I just showed you, Tucker responded to. And there's varying extremes across that platform, which I would say Lindsey Graham represents the craziest extreme ever. He would quite literally put your children in war. And that's who I think Tucker is loosely referring to. Ben definitely, certainly, at least as much as I have heard it, I've never heard him advocate to put boots on the ground. So he's being honest when he says that he has never personally advocated for that. But Tucker is just referring to a bunch of people who, as I said, have varying degrees of sentiment. Ben obviously has been very open about the fact that he does support foreign aid packages. He believes that to some extent America has to do this to preserve freedom in the world. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he, if you listen to his podcast, has an explanation for why he does think that we should be involved in terms of sending money to assist certain countries. But Tucker doesn't believe that, because what Tucker is saying, and what I think that I would agree with what Tucker is saying, is that even if you send foreign aid, this could result in a war, right? You are aiding a further conflict. If you're sending money to Ukraine, that means that the war is not going to stop, right? Because now he's got more money, Zelensky, to be able to fund this war longer. And what can happen in that process is that the war can escalate. So it could ultimately end up with Americans then having to involve ourselves further, or just people hating us, right? How much money are we going to send before maybe Putin snaps and gets upset, or people in the Middle East get upset and decide that they want to enact terror on American citizens, especially with this wide open border? It creates us just having a lot of enemies overseas. And I think that that's probably what Tucker is trying to say, that any level of involvement puts Americans at risk, and he has boys that might have to somehow be involved. Now, obviously, there is no draft today, but there have been drafts in the past when there were world wars. And I think that is a fear a lot of people have, that we're going to somehow end up in a world war because we are just supporting too much overseas. And also because we have lunatics like Lindsey Graham who are just saying things as if it represents the will of the American people. And he is saying things as a politician. It's very dangerous for him to be saying those things. So I think ultimately what will happen in this process is, first and foremost, obviously, Tucker believes in free speech. He believes in disagreements. And eventually the two of them will sit down and Tucker will explain his position further, and he's not going to bend on it. And Ben will explain his position further, and he's not going to bend on it. And people who respect Ben's positions are going to follow Ben, and people who respect Tucker's positions are going to follow them. It doesn't necessarily need to be read like a world war. It just needs to be read that we are not a monolith in the conservative movement, and we all think different things, and different ideas and different thoughts should just be permissible. Hey guys, if you liked this video, you will definitely like.
Wow, that was one interesting topic, and in my opinion, I totally agree with Tucker Carlson. Like, take for example, I'm Nigerian, and then let's say the Cameroonians are having a clash with some different country, and then the government of my country are saying they are going over there to support the Cameroonians. Like, does that even make sense? That is putting us, the citizens, in danger, making us prone to war that we never even sorted out in the first place. Like, it is totally a red flag. It is totally a no. And I really agree with Tucker Carlson, and I understand from his own point of view. No one wants war. We only want peace. So we are going to put the citizens of our country first before any other person. And if you think my opinion is wrong, tell me in the comment section. The comment section is open for everyone. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you feel. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, you're highly welcome. Please do subscribe. Give this video a massive thumbs up. Comment, share, and everything good. And with all that being said, let's just dive right into the next video. Bye.